there's three things that every bass player or guitarist should know how to do. And I'm just going to give a quick explanation of what that is. One is the simplest one is how to raise the action from the saddle, what I call the saddle of the bridge. And that's the part that the string goes over.
Right.
Right? And there's usually just a simple Allen wrench or a screw or something that you can twist to raise the strings up. Now, with this saddle, there's a wrench here, there's a place for me to put an Allen wrench here, and then there's one there. That means I can make the bridge do this from side to side, and you want it as even as possible, not tilted in either direction. So I will look at it from this side, and I can see that this inner edge is a little lower.
Right.
So I raise it so that it's totally level, so that my playing doesn't pull it off the fingerboard. But then I have to look at it this way, because when I leveled it, it may make the string a little bit higher than I want. So at that point, if it's higher but level, then I have to lower both sides. But it's very, very simple.
Yeah.
But you want to know how to do that, because sometimes when I feel like one string buzzing, that's the first thing I'm going to do is try to raise it from here, because that's a quick thing I can do in between songs, and see if that fixes it, just by raising the saddle. Okay. The other way of adjusting the action is with the truss rod, and this is where people are scared of doing this, and for good reason, because you could ruin your neck, but not if you're careful. Now, some people's necks adjust the truss rod at the high end of the neck, but not my foot-eras. My foot-eras are adjusted at the headstock end. And right here where there's usually a plate, a name plate, I keep mine off so I can make adjustments quickly if I need to. And I have these long tools that I get from Foot-era, and I can stick it in there. What you can't see is there's a little hole in there that I can stick the wrench in, the Allen wrench. And the thing to note is that the bass neck will naturally want to have a dip in it, a bend in the middle, right? So if I want the action lower, I want to tighten the truss rod so that the neck bends less and straightens out, which will bring the action lower in the middle, right? So for me to tighten the truss rod, once I put this in here, you want to remember righty tighty, lefty loosey. So in other words, righty meaning clockwise. I'm going to take this, and looking down on it, I'm going to turn it clockwise, okay? To the right, in my opinion, to the right. And I'm not going to turn it much. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it for you, but watch, it's not much. That's it. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Just that much. Then I'm going to check it, because that much tightened the truss rod. And then I'm going to go in and check my action. And one way I can do it is by pressing the lowest fret, hold it down, and then I press the highest fret with my pinky, and I hold it down. And then with these fingers, I can see how much action is left. Because there should be a little bit of dip in the neck, which is going to give a little bit of play, a little bit of room in there.
Yeah.
So I'm holding down the lowest fret, and I'm holding down the highest fret. And then I stretch as far as I can and see how much room is in there. But also, I'm just going to let go and look with my eyes and say, that looks pretty good, or that looks too low, or that looks too high.
Yeah.
If it's too high, let's say the action is too low. That means the neck is too straight, right? So now I need to put more dip in it. So I need to loosen the truss rod, and I'm going to go lefty, counterclockwise, just a little. I heard a click, I tell that it went, that's enough. And I'm going to check it again, right? So it's totally up to you. If you only turn it like a quarter of a turn and you feel it turn, you will not ruin your bass or your guitar. That's all you need, is just to do it that little at a time, and then you shouldn't have any trouble with or any fear of ruining your instrument. So that's the truss rod.
Yeah.
This tool and this little Allen wrench or whatever I need to raise the saddles, I always have these with me. The third thing you want to know how to do is intonate your bass. Okay, we all know how to tune the strings, but I can have my strings perfectly in tune, but then I go up here to play a note and it's flat or sharp. And all that means is that your string is either too long or too short. So I have to make it longer. So let's say my G string is in tune.
Right.
But I go up to play this B flat, high B flat, and it's sharp. Okay? So if it's sharp, you have to think about this. If this note is sharp, that means it's too high. Okay? I'm playing here, but it's like the string feels like I'm playing it up there because it's too sharp. Does that make sense? Okay, so I can't move the fret, right? So if I need this pitch to actually be lower, I need to lengthen the string. Because I can't make the fret lower, if I make the string longer, it's like making my finger lower.
Right.
So if this is sharp, I need it to be lower. So I lengthen the string, and the way I do it on this bass, it may be different than yours, is right back here. It's hard to see, but right back here is a screw.
Yeah.
Okay, hard to see, but that's a screw. And if you look right here, that screw is right there. And when I tighten it, when I tighten that screw, this goes back. The saddle goes back. In a sense, I'm making the string longer, which is going to make this note flatter.
Right.
Right? So that's something everyone needs to know how to do. So what everyone will tell you to do is to undo the string,
Right.
totally loose, pull the string out and turn the saddle. Do that if you want. I don't do that. It takes too long. What I do is I just lift the string up like this, off the saddle. Not going to damage the string, not going to damage it. It's now not touching the saddle. Then I turn the screw, and as I'm holding it, as I'm getting it tighter, I've actually got the wrong one. This is a Phillips. I need a flathead, so I'm not really doing it. But as I turn the screw tighter, I'm pushing it to make sure it goes. And I only do just a little. I mean, you can probably barely even see it move. And then, for the most part, my string is still tight and in tune or close. I'll check it with a tuner, make sure the open string is in tune, and then I check that note with the tuner. And if it's still flat, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to lift the string off the saddle. I'm going to get the screw in there and I'm going to tighten it. Remember, righty-tighty to tighten it, which is going to pull the saddle back.
Yes.
Towards the bridge, making the string longer, hence making my note flatter. And then once I'm done, I make sure the string's in tune. Once that's in tune, I fret the note, and hopefully if it's in tune. Now, let's say if I've done it too much and this string is, if this note is now flat. The string's in tune, the note is flat, right? If the note is flat, I need to make the string shorter, which is the same as making the note go this way, getting sharper by making the string shorter.
Right.
So if I make the string shorter, I have to loosen this and make sure that this comes out this way a little.
Right.
And again, I don't take the strings off to do it. That's just me. I lift up, I loosen, I pull on it a little to make sure it goes this way, which is making the string shorter, which makes my note sharper. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's the three things I think everyone should know how to do, and it'll save you a lot of money from having to hire someone every time you need it done. because I check it just about every time I change strings. So one, going from the third one backwards, how to intonate the string. Because again, your string may be in tune with itself, but you go up here to fret a note and it can be either flat or sharp.
Right.
If the string is flat, I need that note to be flatter, so I shorten the string by intonating the saddle. If the string is sharp, and I need it to be flatter, I have to lengthen the string, which makes the bridge get further away from the note. So if the note is sharp, I lengthen the string.
Yes, sir.
Just gotta try it. It'll make sense more when you do it. And I do that from here. So learn to intonate the bass. You also want to learn how to adjust the height.
Right.
The height of the string. And I didn't say this. This bridge comes with a string that actually lets me adjust the width of the string spacing. So I can do that too. Like I can see that my G and D are a little bit further apart than my D and A.
Right.
D and A. Huh, that's interesting. I never thought about that. Anyway, so I could go in here and adjust that, but all bridges don't have that.
Right.
Anyway, but you want to learn how to adjust the saddles and the heights and make sure that they are even, not tilted in either way. The other one is adjusting the truss rod by having some type of Allen wrench or something like that, sticking it either down here or at the high end, depending on how your bass works, and then turning it righty-tighty if you want to straighten the neck. Clockwise if you want to straighten the neck, making it flatter. If you want more what they call relief, more bend in the neck, you loosen it.
Yeah.
Cool?
Cool.
There you go.
All right, y'all. Words of wisdom from the man himself, E-Dub in the house in St. Louis. Getting ready for the Bella Fleck and the Flecktones throwdown. Bella keep walking across, y'all.
I adjust Baylor's banjos when he's not looking. Yeah.
Secret to my success.
Anyway, we gonna let Vic roll, man. Great knowledge you can use, man. Y'all pick it up, do what you do. This your boy J. Ross. We strong. 10 million. We out. Peace.